What's going on? It's your boy Sermon, the sermonsdomain.com, and we're chilling here with Mike Stead, man. How you doing?
What up, man? I'm good.
Yes, you just rocked Seattle.
I did.
Last year, I remember it was like, maybe partially half full.
Yeah,
now
not
it
even.
was sold out.
Yeah, it was great, man. It's great.
How does it feel?
That's like what it's all about as an artist, This tour has been very rewarding in that sense. We're playing, at least on the second leg where we're playing the West Coast shows, and we're going back to the same venues. And we're playing, it's great to come out on stage and see the room full when it wasn't before. I guess that's really what you're aiming for as an artist. So it's rewarding. It's cool.
Yeah. So what it sounds like is, I feel like you can excel, with the power of a major label backing you, and then, instead you've remained independent. Yeah. And recently you announced a distribution deal with 300. Mm-hmm. So why did it make the most sense to join up with them?
Well, it made the most sense in a lot of ways. I ended up becoming pretty close with a power player in 300, Lior Cohen. Yeah. He's been somebody who's come forward pretty recently and just kind of wanted to get involved, but understood my stance on joining a major and also having a record deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him I was pretty straightforward. We had already made the album, and 300 and Lior, especially Lior, just kind of like, hey, we want to help you, and we want to be involved, and we'll be involved at any capacity that works for you, So that was kind of the only situation out of all the labels that really just kind of were, I guess the best word would be, I don't know if there's a word. Basically, they were just kind of taking in what I wanted, taking in my requests, and saying, hey, we can make it work. You know what I mean? So the distribution deal. It happened very last minute, but it's more of a longevity thing than anything. We're starting to get the radio play on one of the records called Closer.
Yeah.
And that's happening, that's mainly why the distribution deal happened. They felt that with the right push behind a few of the records in the proper rollout, you need a machine behind you at some point to get there. And
yeah.
Kind of following the Macklemore, who's he's obviously a Seattle artist. We're following that mode. We have the same agent. And my agent was very involved in kind of helping this come together. So I'm like super excited about how it kind of all came together last minute. And I think it might end up being, what I wanted it to be. I think, with the radio, with the proper radio push here, some special things could happen without kind of locking myself in something that could be, a negative thing.
So do you wish you had waited to put out Closer and maybe started the radio campaign earlier?
Well, I mean, in a perfect world, yeah. But at the same time, I feel so new still, man. Like, I feel like I'm just kind of finding my sound now. I'm not worried. I'm not necessarily worried about, I have confidence in the records going forward, and a couple people in my camp are kind of like, hey, maybe we delay this album, this deal just happened, and the distribution deal literally happened the week of the album. They're like, hey, let's get involved, we'll do it. But I think things happen for a reason, and the way it happened organically, I was excited about it. There was passion on Lior's side and 300's side, and it just feels like it makes sense. So I'm happy with it. There's not a ton of pressure, as if I were to did a major deal, there would have been a little more pressure, and we would have delayed it and all that type of shit. You know what I mean? But we're just rolling with it, man, and enjoying it. I think it's cool to start seeing your name on radio stations and getting those types of spins and stuff. It's an exciting time.
Yeah, so you're on the Stud Summer Tour, it's 33 cities, you're about halfway through. So what's different about this tour compared to last summer's?
The rooms are full. It's the rooms are filling up, and there's it's just a better buzz. It's exciting to be around it, and I feel like it's starting to really come to a boiling point. On the East Coast and even in the Midwest, I'm playing rooms that I would have dreamed about playing a year and a half ago. So it's a very exciting. And I'm taking it day by day. I'm one of those people who kind of fell into music a little bit, so I'm not taking it for granted. I'm enjoying it.
Okay, so the whole Hoodie Allen beef kind of came out of nowhere. Like, what started it at first?
No idea. Super out of nowhere.
It was just him throwing the shot.
Yeah, I didn't even know the dude. He basically took a shot at me and then was like chirping it. I woke up one day. I was working on my album, was finishing it, and I woke up and my Twitter was going crazy, and and people were saying, oh, I took a shot, and then I'm looking at his Twitter, and he's like chirping about it on Twitter. I'm like, I mean, so I actually, it just kind of happened the way it happened. I had a day off. I didn't have my normal producer that I was working on the album with was booked, and he was somewhere else. So I ended up going in on, I did like a 0 to 100 remix, and it wasn't really a diss. It just kind of took a couple shots back at him in a sense. And then he came with a full diss, and then I did the same. But it was funny. I wish people knew how we felt about it. We were sitting in the studio like, I don't think we should even do this. Because to me, the dude's a cornball. Like, I don't fuck with him at all. Yeah, I didn't fuck with him. I wasn't friends with him, but I had no problem with him. I didn't feel like it was cool to be in a beef with Hoodie Allen. I mean, the dude is a square. So I don't... That was one thing that almost held me back from even doing it, but at the same time, I also felt like people shouldn't be able to say whatever they want to say about anybody for no reason, and just feel like... And then he's marching around on Twitter like he's the man. I mean,
yeah, and it seemed because, like...
At the end of the day, it was... That was easy.
Because a lot of times, you know, in this day and age, you don't really see, like, you know, rap beef. You don't see, like, you see little shots. You don't see full-on diss records.
And that's kind of how I felt about it. I mean, that's not, let's be real, it's not his lane, it's not my lane. You know what I mean? Like, how many, it ended up being an interesting thing. There was a lot of buzz around it, but I don't think people want to see a Hoodie Allen and Mike Stud diss. I mean, I think Mike Stud and Hoodie Allen fans did, that enjoyed it, or they were very interested in it, but the majority of hip-hop or whatever, I mean, both of us make borderline hip-hop, borderline pop music, you know what I mean? It's just that, I just didn't feel like it was the right lane. That's why I almost didn't do it, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like I said, I felt like if somebody, I had a great time with it, you know what I mean? And I enjoyed it all. But it's very real. I don't fuck with that dude. You know what I mean? Like, he calls me and tries to, like, make amends. It's already, I'm not going to make amends. I don't fuck with you. You know what I mean? Like, for you to say something about someone you don't even know for no reason and take a shot at them, one, I'm on your mind. Two, why? You know what I mean? Like, it's just something I would have never done. I don't connect with it. You know what I mean? So, that's that.
Okay, so onto a more positive note, the French Montana collaboration on Turned Up was unexpected, you know, considering how, you know, different your fan bases are and stuff. So how'd you guys meet and, you know, collaborate on that?
Yeah, we just have a mutual connection. We my manager Austin Rosen was a manager of French's for a long time before he kind of he basically kind of grandfathered his deal into Bad Boy with Puff. But it just kind of, it was like an internal camp thing where I knew him, you know, we ended up just making the record. We made the record 8 months before it came out. So we just put it out. It was like a little buzz record. It was initially supposed to be on Relief with my first album, but getting clearance from Bad Boy would have delayed my album a month. I didn't want to delay it for one song. So, but yeah, that's the homie. He's a great dude, and he's also, again, like, very connected in my camp out in LA. So
Do you plan on working with any more like rappers?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of made a group decision that we wanted to keep closer me. Yeah. You know, I mean, we had 2 features on it. They're both singers and unknown, and I just wanted it to be something that, like, I didn't want people to look at it and be like, oh, it's #1, but he's got a record with Big Sean, or he's got a record with French on it, or, you know, how that happened. You know what I mean? I just wanted it to be like, yo, Mike made a great record and people fucked with it and it did great, you know? So, and it was indie, you know, and that's kind of how I went into it, and we kind of swerved around some features, you know what I mean? And that's kind of next. I feel like I said, I feel like there's a lot of growth to be had still, so I think this will be a fun year for those types of things.
Definitely. Okay. Keeping on the subject of rappers, let's say you're having a baseball team and you have to pick 5 rappers to be on your team. Who are you picking?
My 5 favorite right now, or
like if you're
right
like
now,
a baseball
making a team.
You know?
Okay.
Who do you want on your team?
Well, I mean, I want Jay-Z. That's obvious. That's like an obvious thing, but I look up to Jay-Z for everything he's done for his brand. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of, it's obviously such a long shot and it's very far in the distance. But I think that person, Jay-Z, he did it perfectly. He created his brand. He was a great artist, obviously a great rapper, but I'm almost more interested in everything he's done you know, around music and all the success he's had, you know, and that's something I hope to do. I'm giving such cliche answers. Jay-Z, I mean...
You gotta think about who would be good on the baseball field.
Are you talking about actual sports?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, okay.
I was like, Jay-Z?
Okay, sports. Man, I bet none of these fucking rappers can play baseball, man. Baseball's hard, man. Baseball's like one of those things, it's not even like basketball. If you're a good athlete, you can mix in. Like, baseball's like a niche sport. You gotta know how to fucking play. But... Any help over in this one?
Wale played football.
Wale played football. J. Cole played basketball. I don't know about Drake. I don't think he's I don't know if he's athletic or not. Anyone else?
Bow Wow's a catcher, right?
Bow Wow. Bow Wow. Yeah, I want Bow Wow on the team.
He's a catcher.
Yeah. I don't even know. Anyone else? They have to be rappers? I'm gonna answer. Yeah. I'm gonna give you one cheat answer.
They can't be a sports player already.
Luke Bryan, country singer. Y'all wouldn't even know.
Yeah, you'd have to get all country singers.
Luke Bryan was a good baseball player. So Luke Bryan, that's my ringer. That's it.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so my last.
That's an interesting question. I've never gotten that one.
Yeah. So my last question is, what's the biggest goal you want to achieve before the end of 2014?
Every time I get these questions, I kind of tiptoe around them because to be honest, it sounds cliche, but I literally, my whole career, it's been only 3 years or so, but I'm trying not to look ahead, and that's what the concept of closer is. It's no matter how far you've come, how far I've came, you know, if you told me I was going to do this a year ago, I'd say you're crazy. But at the same time, no matter how far I've climbed or how much headspace I've made, I never feel like I've made it. I always feel closer. You know what I mean? I feel like it's every day is like a building, stepping stone type of day. And I really haven't had goals where I'm like, man, if I'm not on the radio by the end of 2013, I'm going to be pissed. You know what I mean? Like, if I have a record deal, I'm going to be pissed. Because what I've learned is if you take every day, as far as at least a building process, and you can kind of take those as little small achievements and little pieces to the puzzle that I'm building here, then that's how true success is obtained. But it's also happiness. Like, I'm trying to enjoy myself and not put burdens on what I'm doing because all of this was unexpected. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I just hope to have success. I hope to keep building. I hope to keep building what I'm doing now because everything right now has just been such a steady climb that I'm proud of. You know what I mean? Nothing's gone crazy viral. Nothing's gone crazy on the radio yet. It's just been a building thing, day by day. So that's the way I'm taking it.
Okay. It's your boy Sermon, thesermonsdomain.com. Mike, I appreciate the time.
I appreciate you, man. You were here last year. I remember.
Yeah.
All right, man. Turn up.